Okay, I weaponed my camera around and I think we're done. I think my graphics issues are gone. Just power cycled everything again. Feels like RNG sometimes. Sure, let's go forward.
You're on your way to an island. Yes, another island. Sorry, Melville. Well, it actually used to be a valley between the mountains, but it's mostly flooded now. That probably happened long before the founder came here, though.
Another legacy of our ancestors.
Do me a favor, will you? Look for another one of the founder's labs. We can't get back into the megastructure without getting to the third site in the north, but I need more information to make more fixes.
So it sounds like the reason why we never got a new place is because they unlocked 2 of them up front, and they want me to go to the 3rd one last, regardless of which of the first 2 I go to first. That seems to be where they're going. Boom, 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 boom. I'm in danger. The focus on physical spaces does end up giving this more of a Myst vibe to it, the way that those games are so obsessed with the physical mechanics of the things around them and so on. I'm not too torn up about it because I'm not going to use them, but I think I missed the flame in the last chapter, in the last level, which is understandable. It was a very huge, very bright level. Well, that one's here immediately. Huh. Reference photo in case you want to figure this out later. Is that what the zone looks like? Or is that... Because it kind of looks like it means go back to here. The eastern side of the map. Then visit the levels again and figure out where those spots are? 3 things? Maybe. Did you have dialogue? No. Here's one. And the new mechanic is... It's called absorption. The accumulator. Oh. Okay. So first I've got to nab you up, because I got to hold this open from this side. And grab this one while discharging it, and connect you to here. There we go. This is an odd device, but okay.
In the beginning, before we built New Jerusalem, we used to explore just like this. Small groups setting out for the horizon, looking for resources, trying to make sense of the world we'd been thrust into, trying to find a way forward. It was a hard time, but I can't deny that it was also exciting. I think it's part of our nature to be wanderers. Our ancestors crossed entire oceans on flimsy wooden boats just to see what else there was.
Is it weird to feel nostalgic for a time I never experienced? I just think I could have contributed so much more back then.
It's not weird, but it wasn't all sunshine. People died. Yemo, Calvin, Isaac.
I know, they were family to me.
Sorry. It didn't mean to reopen old wounds.
It's a legitimate point, but I don't think it invalidates the sense of wonder we felt. That's what kept us going.
This is a strange... So the moment I saw this, I was like, this is weird. Because it feels like, compared to having to actually navigate environments and bounce lasers throughout the place with continuity, this feels like a massive simplification of laser mechanics. So that's weird. But this does seem like a bit of a struggle here. So this needs to be green, so that's red and blue. And that's going to cause a continuity problem for me here. Huh. I mean, it's all one horizontal plane, so it'll never be close or far enough, away enough. How do I get red to the middle? See, I put it here at first because if it was the inverter, it would work on some level. But yeah, like I need to have... I don't just shoot this into it and then convert it. I have to specifically combine it with red. Is there an altitude change somewhere? Because it feels like it needs to be higher. The snow over here, is it any taller? Nope. This doesn't make sense to me. So yeah, it's always going to be a problem. I'm not sure what angle could ever fix it. Okay, they can combine at the destination. It's not combining at the destination, it just is blue, and it's ignoring the green. I'm misunderstanding something like basic about this, I think. That's what it is. You trick this into making green, and then you just cut out blue entirely because you make blue via the green and red. There we go. My initial gut reaction was accurate, and that you do put one of them inside the V of the other one. Like, that just makes sense. That's the only way to avoid crossing the beams. So I had the correct, like, basic pattern shape figured out and just didn't know what they wanted me to do with it. But it's because the thing can also be used to store the secondary states of these colors. The mixed ones. Crossing. Fan that probably goes over this wall and back. There's a block. There's an accumulator. Whee! Hello, block. Okay, so block. Jammer. Accumulator. Button. Right? Blue light might cancel that. Red light comes from in here. The ending is over here, which requires red. So I need. They made it not a jammable thing because then that would break it. So it's a gate that requires a red light. Roxanne. So that red light goes all the way over there, which should require at least. Okay, one connector could do that. But we don't have a connector anyway. We have this guy, so that does all sorts of weird things with stuff. This is just a kind of convoluted way of getting to the blue. Which does what? Holds this door open, I think? Should then let me jam that. But the blue is in here. There we go. I'm smart. I figured it's in the air probably long enough to get a charge, and so now it does have blue. Thankfully. And now that's powered, I should be able to take you through here and jam you. I have to fight against my instinct to make finished solutions for things where everything works. I keep dismantling stuff around me. That's especially true for when you have a device like this that can just take a beam with you. I keep not wanting to close doors and so on. It is gonna get me in trubs, and I don't want to be in trubs.
There's so much history here that we can't see. The founder must have walked these paths hundreds of times, maybe thousands. Miranda must have stood right where we're standing. This all looks alien to us, but it must have been familiar to them.
If this was their home, where are they now?
They must be inside the megastructure, waiting for us to pass the test. It's the only thing that makes sense.
Something's in there. There's definitely a question mark over there, but I can't get past the water. It's gonna get me in trouble. So not right now. That is a problem to be solved in the future. This one's called Wellspring. Proposal: bring back dogs. The red title says it all. We should re-domesticate dogs. Our ancestors loved dogs so much. They insisted they were amazing companions, full of life and love, man's best friend, and the lives they lived with humans must have been infinitely better than in the wild, so why not bring them back? Did you know that poet Lord Byron wrote a beautiful poem about his dog, Boatswain? He said he had beauty without vanity, strength without insolence, courage without ferocity, and all the virtues of man without his vices. Is that who our Byron's named after? No, he named himself for Robert Byron, the travel writer. That's great. What about my idea? You can have an opinion about pugs. We should breed them back, except pugs. The ability to breathe does seem like an important feature in an animal. Isn't it the perfect demonstration of how perverse it is to manipulate nature like that? Yeah, that's why we choose not to do it badly. It's not like pugs are the only possible outcome. We have choices. I would love to have a dog. Go on walks together. It would be excited about every new smell. And we'd play fetch. It sounds magical to me. We're selling everyone on dogs. I think I've heard there's a project to try to breed the snout back into pugs so that they can... You have these little dogs, but they also can just fucking breathe and be normal. A normal connector. But for all I know, by touching on this, I've accidentally wandered into the pug side of TikTok, and everyone's gonna have to be really opinionated all of a sudden, and I'm like, I don't have enough of an opinion to engage with this mess. Alright, well, I can't really tell what I'm looking at in here. Blue, red, window. Give me one of them. Alright, what is this level shaped like? Another connector. Red. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Unless... Nah, it's too set into the wall. They make it look like it's gonna work. There's a weird little window. Red can go here. I saw this plant and briefly thought it was connector. But I don't think that angle works either. Nope, they set up a little mean little wall in the way. So blue is here. And it's needed like over there. That might not be that hard of a connection to make right now, though. Ah, except the wall is up. And this gives me the storage thing. So it's a bit of a priority. My goal would be to see if I could get it in line of sight with these windows, but maybe these windows can see the lock? There's the lock. Yeah. This puzzle's mostly about spotting really obscure angles so far. Okay, this one's trapped in here. Ah. Got two reds. Huh. So I need to be able to shoot a red beam into you and into you. One of them could be the storage thing. God. Okay. Okay. They also can't go out. So this is a super restrictive source of red. So I could potentially move forward here. I think the idea is that you are going to become the new source of red that can connect to both that and this. And now if I loop all the way back around, I should now have access to going all the way around this, and here we are. Yep.
Nice.
We're halfway there. Wow. Nothing to say to me. Okay, this question mark might be accessible. Are you a star or a lost puzzle? Looks like a lost puzzle. I see the wall. Yep. Field of view. I got field of view. Red roses too. And the reverser toy. Okay, so our goal is to get this open, and it's opened by... Ah. That's gonna be an interesting challenge. Ah. They don't technically both have to be lit at the same time. There's two pairs of colors. This is the first gate. That gets us this far. We've got a couple staircases, but I don't know if this extra height does much for us. There is an exit in case I get stuck. can take them in here and use them up here. Come on, it's so close. There we go. Just to get just far enough to see both blues at once. This balcony gives you access to red, so you're set. These are satisfying. I see nothing else hiding out there. And we're back to the road. 5, what? Yeah. Well, I found Prometheus. We're doing this now. Oh, is it gonna cross the water? That's gonna be probbers for my proggers. I need to take a break in a minute. I do not yet know how to get across these. I was not anticipating recording half of Talos Principle 2 while sick, but it's been a very light sickness. I feel like tired garbage whenever I'm not playing Talos Principle 2, basically, so it's like my one form of productivity I can do, besides just sitting around waiting for it to end. No. 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 Oh. Oh, there's a sandbar here. Thank you, Prometheus. I'm betting that the question mark I tried to reach earlier was his statue then. Yep. Well, this makes more sense now. Bum. Bum bum.
Utopia is impossible, but the future that is possible will seem like a dream to those who are alive now.
Chasing the light. Achievement unlocked. Activate a Prometheus monument without stopping the spark. Chasing music. Huh. That's interesting. That's the first time I've done that, apparently. It's admittedly easier to do when it just is you following it and no tricks. This is the least messy geometry so far to follow it across, besides the scary water. Very scary water. And we're back on track. Onwards. After a brief break, I'm back. Okay, I've had really minor symptoms. I'm not constantly a mess of phlegm and sniffles every second of my being, necessarily. Although I do have little brief bits of like, ugh. For a second there I thought I somehow skipped one and was just misreading what I was looking at here. 5. Or else. Balance of forces. Here's a box, so that's neat. There's a light. There's my exit. It goes over there. It requires me to get a blue over here. So if I can get that blue from here to there, I win. Which is pretty minor. distance-wise, but I probably need to get an absorbo to get it in there because it turns a corner. I probably want to go across that. Here's the absorbo, but this thing's in the way, so we have to get it somewhere else somehow. Pressing either side of this makes this barrier go away, but you can't go through it that way. I can put a blue here to power this fan. Why? Why do I want to power this fan? Just send me right back to their side. Send me back to the other side. Send me back to the other side. Okay, alright, I can go through this. With the power of God and anime on my side. Original joke and or meme. Ha 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 ha. Fuck. Can you stop? I guess I can do it. I can start it on that side. That's also valid. Oopsie. Infinitum. Pong, 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 pong. Wow! That also gives us an infinitely bouncing source.
What is it now?
Why did you upload a picture of your hand?
Why do you care that my hand is in the picture?
Your hand isn't in the picture, it is the picture.
I like it. It's very artistic. Let's stay professional, everyone. It's not right to make fun of Melville's comically absurd inability to take decent pictures. She's a hyper-advanced humanoid machine, not a photographer.
You'll pay for this, Byron.
It's just a running gag that she's bad at taking pictures. Last time they were like, it's out of focus. I don't even... You took this with your eyes. I don't even know how to make my eyes go out of focus. Job's done. More work. Is that line of sight or not? Motherfucker. It's fine, I can do this. And now it's in. Alright. So this requires a green... No, it's a green source. There it is. Noting some interesting design elements here, and then it's just her hand in the way. How does she keep doing that? That's impressive. So step on this to get rid of this, I guess. A driller. For what and whence? There? That's the only drillable wall. Why the hell did I do that? Alright, well that exists. Yeah, that does allow me to put one of these guys behind that to get the green laser out. Where's the green laser need to go to, though? See, this is a converter, so this requires 2 colors to make the 3rd color. I need red and blue. And the only emitters are blue and green, I think? So combining blue and green will make red with this. Okay, well then I can probably safely put you over here because I don't need you anywhere else. I'm not sure what this does. What is it connected to? We now have a green light. I guess you can be here. It's just we just take you in here. Huh. I don't know how to put it, but I keep looking at parts of the level and anticipating complications, and then I just kind of push forward and realize the complications aren't there. Like, the puzzle does feel weirdly easy. Like you just take this from out there and bring it in here and use it to power, like, this thing had one spot to be used, and so you just go use it in that one spot, and then you just hold this pressure plate down because you're like, well, it's an extra item, and then you just take everything in here and just solve everything in this room. Like, I don't know how to put it. It feels like I should be able to, like I should have to figure out how to navigate this environment and how to make these, like, we're used to the idea of making the green light go around and come through here, but instead it's just like, you need a blue and a red, so you... Blue? Red. Ta-da! We're relatively late in the chapter, so it feels too easy? Commenting a bit on my... how I just was remarking earlier that this feels like a surprisingly easy game overall. And that has somewhat persisted. Not having a bad time. They're definitely not mindless puzzles. They're all, in fact, they're all iterating on ideas in interesting ways. So they're playful, and I like it when puzzles feel playful. Lateral inhibition. Did get a message. My farming obsession. Budahas. So, I've been playing a ton of this old Gehenna game called Ancient Human Farmer. The title says it all. It's a sort of a simple farming simulator. Maybe not the most sophisticated game, but I'm getting really obsessed with it. I'm having some sort of emotional response to it that I can't exactly explain. Like, it makes me happy, but also sad. Does anyone have any idea why this is happening to me? The game appeals to you because of the human need to commune with nature, to live a lifestyle that's not about dominating the world but coexisting with it. You're sad because we can't ever return to being who we used to be thousands of years ago, but happy because it reminds you that at least something similar is still possible for us. Maybe it's because the people of Gehenna, despite their imprisonment, had an innocent view of the world that's permanently lost to us. I think it's actually the opposite of what Ovis is saying. These games are enjoyable because they take us back to a time when we still had agency, when we could build things, grow things, when we could impose our will on the world instead of being completely powerless and inactive. What you crave is the ability to contribute to humanity in real, material ways, and you're sad because you're just simulating it. Because just simulating it is not enough. You don't want to farm, you want to be a pioneer, as we humans were born to be. It's just a game, don't overthink it. My comment section, every time I have any cool thought ever, there's always that one guy, it's like, ew, you're thinking about something stupid, it's a video game, Mario jumps on the Goombas, and that's what video games are, the end. Kill Pellegrino. Kill him. I'm gonna remember your name and hate you every time you speak now. Whatever your other opinions are wronger now. Let's see. I think Ovis and Damien are both right in that there is a lifestyle and an experience that is alien to us that these games both hearken to. One is the human coexistence with the nature, and one is just the idea that you are doing an imperialism and doing a growth and exploitation thing. Because almost all strategy and RTS and even factory games like Factorio and Satisfactory are about conquest over nature and exploitation of its resources and so on, like inherently. It doesn't bother me because they're fun video games to just kind of play around in and so on, but underneath it all, they do ultimately represent the exploitation of the land, and that ultimately points towards imperialism in the Minecraft kind of way. And well, if you go and add other NPCs into those scenarios to mix in with these land, because most of these games there's just land and there's maybe some evil wildlife that attacks you, and that's about it. You do notably make pollution usually, and it's like a mechanic of its own. But there's not usually like other sentient creatures to exploit or piss off or go to war with. But that's the inevitable endpoint of that system. If you do have any other intelligent life that isn't the people exploiting, then I got bad news for what will happen to them in that engine, that system of incentives. Let's say Damien's right. I agree with Damien. I guess I can see your point. Thanks for the feedback, everyone. I'll go play another round now. There was not much follow-up discussion that time. What's that? Oh, it's a fan. It's like, it looks like a crazy laser amplifier speaker matrix. Blah, blah, blah. We got a window here. There's a button between two beams. Maybe it disables the beams. It's not clear what it does. So lighting this will turn on the fan but lower this. So that creates so if I can light it from inside here by connecting something to something out there, then I'll be in here and it won't blow me away, because this will make this hallway impossible to use. And then I can go in here and step on this button, and I don't know what that does. I don't know what that does. It might lower the next beam. Maybe, yeah. So there's my goal. So if I can get inside, I can then take the thing with me that made it possible, maybe? Or something, to press the button to go do the thing. So there's a blue beam. And there's an inverter, which will immediately set up this problem for me. Wind is weirdly invisible in this game. Like, I know it's wind. Like, I understand what air looks like, which is that it doesn't. But you expect more of a cartoony vortex to show you the boundary of where you can't go now. And this can store stuff. So if I bring you in here and I light you up, then you're gonna go over there, and this is gonna happen, and I'm gonna step on this, and that's gonna go, but I can't go any further, and it's bad. I can't trick it. Whenever you have an item like this, if you try to pick it up, your character walks back through the field and gets in trouble again. Let's take it with me before I get stuck. Okay, so there's a different approach to this. Should I store the red beam? I think I'm overthinking a bit, and then I was considering some variations of, like, if I make part of the circuit here, the wind would push it, which could break a connection and even reconnect it if it lands in the right spot. But I don't think they want me to move it with the fan. I think the fan's just a barrier and not a mechanic other than that. So it won't like interrupt the beam or anything. Definitely a little confused. How am I going to press this button? There's no line of sight in here. This will reconnect the moment I try to move here. Oops. It definitely feels like I'm supposed to be able to somehow connect the beam from in here. Because you can't get past this while it's active. But somebody has to press this button and let me go through. So I need an extra object. Am I missing one? You can't dismantle the fan. Uh-huh. Womp, womp, womp. It looks like given this lip, you can't really make a connection around here anyway to do any weird stuff with the fan. Like, there's no sneaking past this. When I try to pick it up, he'll walk over. They knew not to allow that to happen. Oops. No. Okay, I'm kind of onto something, maybe. It needs the blue beam to convert it to red beam to make the fan happen and so on, and I need to get past it before it activates. Right, what I've got... Right, no, I had this in my head a second ago, then lost it for a moment. What I've got to do is set this up first, so that it makes it impossible to function. And now it works. There we go. I had a version of that in my head, like, immediately, too. Like, some version of, like, I know that I have to essentially activate it while I'm already in. But I just needed to figure out what the hell I was looking at and how I was going to actually process that in realistic terms. Right, this was a bonus puzzle. I'm probably on 7 still. We'll see when I get there. Yep, 7 and 8 still. It thinks I finished the chapter because I did the 2 bonus ones already. Rainbow. Oh, this was gonna be a lot. Okay. I clench a little bit when I walk into a room that's just... It's just lasers. This level's just a square. And it's like, figure out the laser problem, dude. It's like laser math time. Get 2 RGBs and an accumulator. Oh god. Okay, so we have a blue and a red, and we need 2 blues, a red, and a green. I might be presuming a lot, but it kind of feels like the solution might be satisfyingly symmetrical. But yeah, the green being spread out, it makes it a struggle, because then I need to make it just blue, so I need to do red and green. And then red. I think I get it, actually. I think I already solved it. There we go. That one wasn't so bad. I'm like, I know how to put a pure red in the middle of this.
Very smart one, Kay. Sorry, I didn't mean to sound surprised.
You've already said.
Clearly, you know what you're doing.
You've already said that line. Are you a clone? Was I right? Have you been replaced? Oop, question mark. It's either the other statue or it's a terminal hiding out here. Oh, it got really bright just now. Oh, it's the lab. I think that was a lighting bug. I think I walked above the lab and it did the lighting from inside the lab. Because this place is all supposed to be all shiny and futuristic. Yeah, given that these are how you unlock new levels, you actually don't have to do that many of the puzzles to continue forward, technically. Just for being able to unlock the rest of play. Still have to solve everything. Hello.
This is where they must have lived. Athena and Miranda. You know, for a moment, I almost expected to find them here. But the only thing that's still functional is the megastructure. I'm sorry. This must be awfully strange for you being thrown into all this history. But that's why I needed you. Because you're not burdened with all these memories and conflicts and regrets weigh on our minds like a nightmare.
A nightmare?
Our civilization is caught in a loop, 1K. We freed ourselves from the simulation, but now we're trapped again, and it's our own fault. We're afraid of taking responsibility, afraid of growing up. Instead, we make up some capitalized words and build up all these myths around them. Nature, balance, the founder, the goal. We're afraid to face the randomness of the cosmos, but equally afraid to imagine a better world. So we're stuck. I've been trying to find a way out for years. Something, anything, to get people to understand that we do actually have free will. That building a thriving, expanding civilization doesn't have to involve repeating the mistakes of the past. But I failed. Over and over.
And you think what we've discovered here could change things?
Yes. Because this is something unexpected, an anomaly. Everything we found on this island challenges who we have become. It shows us that different answers are possible. And maybe that can break people out of the loop. All we need is a spark. Maybe that's why she made all this. The puzzles, the towers. A way of jolting us out of our complacency.
I honestly don't know.
Neither do I, 1K. But I try to be optimistic. Now, let's see what else we can find here.
Everyone's so desperate for an explanation. I feel like this is why she left, this constant idea that she personally needs to have the answers for all of existence. Like, what an existential crisis to give her. She was just created by a simulation that was left behind by a dead society that itself gained sentience and didn't want to end. And then she just had to single-handedly strike out and exist as something that never had existed before. And shoulder the responsibility of being the leader of all of humanity, but only as a ghost of itself. What are with some of these terminals? I keep wondering with what labor force did she create these crazy spaces?
Melville, eyes on 1K stream. Is this thing what I think it is?
Blow my fuse box. It sure looks that way. Best not touch it until I get there.
You won't get here in time. My curiosity is too great. Let's see. Of course, sound advice, but what is it?
I think it's a somnodrome. It's a sort of analytics tool for processing mental data that Melampus dreamed up.
But all he ever did was sketch out the theory. As far as I'm aware, he never actually built one.
Looks like the founder gave it a go.
Can you explain it like I was born yesterday? Get it?
Well, what we know is that our deeper algorithms are hard to pass. Melampus stipulated that the computational power to interpret them in real time would always be beyond us. But in theory, the somnodrome would interpret that data and loop it directly to our senses.
People were hoping to find answers to the big questions by having a conversation with our own subconscious. If you ask me, it's solipsistic at best, and pseudoscience regardless.
That may be. But if the founder figured it out, then that device could be an extremely important discovery.
We should study it.
I agree. The data on that device could prove invaluable. Besides, you may have survived all those data stream overloads, but interface with that thing and you're liable to get bricked.
Sounds like a plan. Melville, I'm shutting this thing down until you can get here. 1K, get on with exploring the rest of the lab.
Would you like to explode? I bet I can help you explode.